Hey boys and girls, this is Miss Escamilla, and in this video we're going to review how to generate equivalent fractions. We're going to talk about how we've learned how to generate equivalent fractions in math by using multiplication, and also how we can generate equivalent fractions by simplifying them using division. So you're going to need this information for Mondays and Tuesdays homework, January the 13th and January the 14th. So one way that we learned in class how to simplify fractions is by using multiplication. For example, if I gave you the fraction 3/5, we can generate any equivalent fraction by simply picking a number to multiply by and multiplying the numerator and the denominator by the same exact number. So for example, if you choose to multiply by 2, then you would multiply both the numerator and denominator by 2, and therefore creating the equivalent fraction 6/10. So that means that 3/5 is equivalent to 6/10. However, there are many fractions that are equivalent to 3/5, and you can find all those by multiplying by different numbers. So for example, I could choose to multiply by 4 and make the equivalent fraction 12/20. So that means that 3/5 is also equivalent to 12/20. So as you're working and you're trying to find an answer that works, you can use multiplication to find equivalent fractions, and you can also use division. And when we divide to find equivalent fractions, what we're doing is we're simplifying those fractions. And typically we want to make sure that we put fractions in their simplest form. So for example, if I wanted to take 6/9 and find an equivalent fraction to that, I could put it in its simplest form. The strategy we learned in class was to list all the factors of the numerator and the denominator. So for example, the factors of 6 are 1, 3, and 6 itself, because all three of these numbers can make the number 6. In 9, the factors of 9 are 1, 3, and 9 itself. And then what happens is you choose the greatest common factor. So all numbers are going to have the common factor of 1, but you want to choose the greatest common factor. So in this example, 3 is a common factor and it's greater than 1. Therefore, you would divide our fraction 6/9 by 3 to generate the equivalent fraction in its simplest form. And so again, you would divide the numerator and denominator by 3, and 6 divided by 3 equals 2. 9 divided by 3 equals 3. And now we have determined that 6/9 is equivalent to 2/3 in its simplest form. So use this information to help you with Mondays and Tuesdays homework. It could be that you have to multiply to find an equivalent fraction, or that you have to put the fraction in its simplest form and divide. So you'll have to think about that. Good luck.